The 42,703 in attendance at Pagbell Park on Wednesday, October 23rd, bore witness not only to Game 4 of the World Series, but to a star-studded pre-game show. On display were the top 10 moments in baseball history as voted by the fans. As movie stars like Billy Crystal and Andy Garcia were announcing the finalists, the players responsible for the feats came out on the field. Though Cal Ripken's consecutive game record topped the list, it was Pete Rose who reportedly got the biggest ovation. When the pre-game ceremonies were over, both teams got down to business. The Giants sent 31-year-old Kurt Reeder to the mound. Though far from overpowering and never flashy, he was the Giants' most consistent starter. The Angels countered with John Lackey, a promising 23-year-old rookie. The game began around 3 p.m. Mike Winters was the home plate umpire. Mike Riley was at first, Tim McClellan did second, Jerry Crawford at third, Angel Hernandez and Tim Shida were in the outfield. The Angels attacked the ball early. With 2 outs, Tim Salmon reached first on a throwing error by David Bell, and Garrett Anderson singled to center. But Troy Gloss grounded out to second, and the threat was over. The Giants were attacking the ball with similar success. In the bottom of the first, Kenny Lofton and Rich O'Reilly both singled. With the runners on the corners, Jeff Kent struck out. Barry Bonds was intentionally walked. Benito Santiago then grounded out to David Eckstein for an inning-ending double play. Top of the second brought more trouble for Kurt Reeder. The Angels were hitting the ball aggressively, often going after Reeder's first or second pitch. With 1 out, he allowed consecutive singles to Benji Gill, Benji Molina, and John Lackey. David Eckstein then hit the ball deep to center. Lofton caught the ball, but Benji tagged up and beat the throw home. The Angels took an early lead. Angels struck again in the top of the third. With 1 out and Garrett Anderson on first, Troy Gloss hit the ball deep to right center, extending the Angels' lead. John Lackey, on the other hand, scattered 5 hits over 4 innings without allowing a run. Barry Bonds was walked intentionally twice. But Lackey's luck would run out in the 5th. Kurt Reeder and Kenny Lofton singled to lead off the inning. Rich O'Reilly singled to right to knock in Reeder and advance Lofton to third. Jeff Kent flew out to deep right and Lofton tagged up and scored the Giants' second run. The next batter, Barry Bonds, was walked intentionally for the 3rd time, but Benito Santiago singled to center, knocking in O'Reilly and tying the game. Reeder pitched 1 more scoreless inning, making Benji Molina ground out into a double play before being replaced by Tom Goodwin in the bottom of the frame. John Lackey was pulled as well, replaced by Ben Weber. Weber allowed a leadoff single to David Bell and walked Tom Goodwin, but kept the game tied. Both teams went to their bullpens. The Giants called on Felix Rodriguez and Tim Morrell, both of whom pitched scoreless innings. Angels sent rookie phenom Francisco Rodriguez to the mound. While he pitched a hitless 7th, even challenging and defeating Barry Bonds, he stumbled in the 8th. JT Snow singled to right to lead off the frame and then advanced to second on Benji Molina's passed ball. Reggie Sanders popped out, but David Bell, atoning for his error in the first, singled to center, knocking in Snow and giving the Giants the lead. Ramon Martinez followed up by grounded into a double play, but the damage was done. The Giants finally got to K-Rod. With a thin 1-run lead in the top of the 9th, Rob Nen was the Giants' obvious choice. His arm has been giving him trouble recently, but it would not be an issue in this game. He allowed a 1-out single to Adam Kennedy, but then made Brad Fulmer ground out to Rich O'Reilly for a game-ending double play. The Giants had evened the series. Reeder was very consistent on the mound, keeping the ball down and retiring 13 batters on ground balls. With 6 innings of work, he also completed the longest playoff start by a San Francisco Giant since Jack Sanford in 1962. The Giants' defense converted 3 double plays, committing just 1 error. John Lackey did not pitch bad either, but in this close contest, it was the Angels' bullpen that gave up the winning run. Barry Bonds, for the first time in the series, went hitless, having seen only 2 good pitches in 4 at-bats.